Cowboys play here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live in Las Vegas at Circa Las Vegas. Cowboys preseason finale tomorrow afternoon, a game you can listen to here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We'll be able to watch that here at Circa, will we not? We got the boss man here, Vice President of Circa Las Vegas, Mike Palm, joining us, and we want to make sure we're going to have the Cowboys game on here, right?
We always have the Cowboys game. The Cowboys are like Notre Dame. I mean, they're in every community in the United States.
Yeah.
There's groups that follow that team, right?
Yes.
And it surprises me because, Mahomes has come up and Kansas City's been a more popular team, right? And Pittsburgh's a popular, but still the Cowboys, week in and week out, you always know there's going to be a huge contingent, whether they're good or not. Yeah, Cowboy fans here.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're the Cowboy station.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we know.
I got to ask you a question, though. Preseason football. Why in the world should I walk up to the sports book and put money down on, say, the Cowboys tomorrow in the preseason?
I can't encourage it, okay? And I would love you to. I totally ignore it. I see no rhyme or reason to it. Like, why are 80% of the games going under so far? Why have 70% of the line moves been wrong, right? There's all the steam. The line moves quickly because the bets are lower and there's not as many bets. I find it almost impossible to handicap. I draw nothing from it other than if there's a major injury, and I for myself, from a handicapping, want to ignore it. But people are in such a fix to get football, right, that they want action on it, and so a caveat emptor, I would say.
Well, I probably will do it. I'm just saying.
Well, see, it's preseason for him too. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
He needs to.
You got week 0 tomorrow. If you need to
That's
get in
true.
Week,
some football, but
SMU's playing tomorrow.
Boy, if that game lands 24, we might not have the lights on Sunday. I mean, that's a huge middle number. I mean, and we're going to need Florida State over
Florida
Dublin.
State,
We'll
really?
need them. Yeah, they've got the dog all week. So
wow,
already heavy action on week 0.
Very nice.
So
Very nice.
A guy in your position, and it's just hearing you say that, when you are watching the numbers from your vantage point, knowing what that could mean for the house, how nervous does that make you while the games are going? Or are you always watching a game as the guy that runs a sports book and casino, or do you actually get to watch the game and enjoy it as a fan?
No, I get to watch and enjoy it as a fan. Derek's very big on getting all the information out so we all know what we need, and the matrix on every game, especially the primetime games and standalone games. And if there's a parlay where somebody has all but the last leg in, it's a big payout knowing where we're at. But I always think that's very short term. I mean, we might get killed today, but in the long run, we're going to be all right. So I don't get too upset. I still enjoy the games. I mean, the NFL is a long day on Sunday, right? Because they put so many games early, too. I mean, I wish they spread it out a little better with more afternoon games, but they put so many games in that noon Central Time block, and it's exhausting. I mean, I enjoy Saturdays more than Sundays because there's so many. You can kind of pick a few games. The NFL, there's going to be 500,000 on every game.
Sure.
Like, you can kind of look at the games in college. There's going to be 6 or 8 games that are heavily bet on a Saturday, and you can kind of watch through theirs. There's no break in the NFL. But the thing I like most as a fan is, like, I usually work Sundays. A lot of people take Sundays off, not in the summer. I'm saying everybody works on Sunday, but I could sit there from 9 a.m. or 8 now. They got all these goofy stations in the morning here on Sunday and just watch baseball all the way through the Sunday night game and just have a few beers and just. I think it's relaxing. Even I like the pitch clock. It's nothing, but I think that's just a very relaxing thing to do. And as a fan, talking about watching and enjoying games, that's what I really love to do.
Mike, since we've been coming up here and we can get to know you a little bit, you don't look like anything rattles you at all. I'm sure it does, but I mean, you hide it very well. You have to have that kind of a temperament, I would think, if you're in this business.
You do. You really do, because everybody else is going to get rattled.
Yeah.
I mean, right? The customers are going to get rattled. I sometimes refer to this as high-priced babysitting, what I do. And I was a school teacher, so there's some of that. But you're going to deal with people who just lost a lot of money. You're going to deal with people who had a drink or two or five too many, right? And you're going to deal with people that come to Las Vegas, bad things happen to them. So you have to have a calming effect to deal with them. And you also have to have a calming effect to deal with your employees who are dealing with these people, because it can get ugly early,
Sure.
right? And so you have to have a high tolerance and just know that in the long run, just keep making the right decisions and things will be okay. We can always fix it. I always tell our employees, we can fix it. Whatever it is, we're going to be able to fix it. The only thing we can't fix is if you lie to us about it.
Sure.
Then we can't help you. But if something happens, tell what happened, and we'll figure out how to get out of it.
I love that.
And again, that kind of attitude, because it's always a fun environment. What we see here at Circa, the first meeting you on Super Bowl Radio Row, the idea of ever meeting and talking to anybody that actually runs a casino or owns a casino is like, you don't think that that's real, like big corporations, not right. Just dudes, right?
Yeah.
But you guys are always walking around. You guys are always on the floor. That's, very visible on network that you guys run. You just don't see that. I mean, it's all by design, is it not?
Well, yeah, that's one of the things when Derek came out here and got into the gaming industry, he wanted to be accessible to his customers, right? And stand at the bar, shake hands, and buy him a beer. I mean, and he really still does that. There's certain weekends, and don't tell him I said this, but, he has to ice his hands because he shakes so many hands.
Wow.
And this is, bordering on one of them, but like we used to do grand openings or Super Bowl or March Madness, he'll shake hands so many times over 4 days that his hand starts to swell. He has to ice it at night because that's how many handshakes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It really is incredible.
Saw him at the bar last night.
Yeah, we talked to him last night.
The same thing. Number of people that are talking to him, taking pictures with him, and go from there. I mean, it's pretty cool.
What about the contest? How's it going? I know my good friend Jason got in yesterday. I'm headed to the sports book after the show to get in. How are things going? Is it like you wanted it to be at this point in time?
I think we'll be very we'll be fine with the Survivor. We'll blow through the 10 million. Maybe we even got a shot at 12 million. This is one of our things. Our tech is always up to the minute. So we've done between the two 553 contest entries today. That's right now we're at 2:45 Pacific time, and we're at 6,300 in the Survivor and 2,777 in the millions. So we're going to be sure to get in the millions. This is, Derek doesn't like this take on it, but this is the third straight year we've guaranteed 6 million. It'll be the third year we didn't get there. Isn't that the definition of insanity?
Yeah. Yes.
We expect a different result. He doesn't like that spin, but no. So he's going to have to put money in again.
Yeah.
So there's the overlay for the gambler. The poker players, they'll come out and buy entries because there's that dead money that's in there. Essentially, you don't have a person to compete against the $1,000. The owner's putting it in. So, over the terms of 6 and 5 years since we started the contest, it still blows my mind that we went from nobody even knew what Circa meant. We hadn't built the building. We just started trying to run our own sports book June 1st, 2019. Right? You start this contest, and will anybody sign up? Right? And he was smart. You'd make a guarantee. You don't take a rake, and it's taken off. And he does a great job marketing it.
Yeah.
I'm curious, as I know I'm not good at a Survivor League. I've tried those before, whether it's $5, $10, whatever you're getting in, and I'm not good at it. The Circa Million, I'm surprised that the numbers are flipped. I thought it would have been the other way around. Why? What am I not seeing that everybody else is?
Well, the Survivor is a brilliantly a concept of a contest because it seems very simple. I just have to pick one winner every week. And, when people get knocked out, it's Dallas goes to Arizona in week 3, right? And good old Dak. Don't let him get behind. Don't let him get behind.
That's right.
Great front runner.
Yes.
Great front runner. Anyhow, fuck, they were down 10. They couldn't do anything in the red zone. I sat there watching what the hell is going on. And you're like, how could that ever happen again? I got to get in next year. That's not going to happen again next year. If something fluky happens, the quarterback gets hurt during the game, there's 4 turnovers. So it's always a bad beat, something crazy. You want to get back in. And, oh, by the way, maybe I can win 12 million or beat 3 or 4, win 3 or 4 million. And then people look at the millions and they say, I have to pick 5 games every week. Maybe I only like to bet 2 or 3. And then I look and the winner was 70% last year. How could I pick 70% winner? Well, the whole thing is, if you can get hot for 4 weeks, the quarters are what's really important. we give away $300,000 a quarter, the top 5 in the worst record every quarter. If you can get that within the confines of a quarter, not the first 2 weeks of one, you can make 6 figures.
Yeah.
That's how I sell it. Are you guys horse racing fans at all?
Yeah, sure.
So you remember Cigar, the horse Cigar? Bill Mott was the trainer of Cigar. He had the 16 race win streak, got beat in the Pacific Classic at Del Mar out here, right? They got all concerned about this horse Citation, and they didn't want to let him get an easy lead. And he pressed too early, and Corey Nakatani come up on this dare and go and beat him. And Bill Mott, who was Cigar's trainer, I'll never forget this. He came to the, for the press conference at the end of it, and he said, there's a million ways to lose a race. There's only one way to win it. And I think about that in Survivor. There's only one way to win Survivor. You got to go all the way to the end. But there's 126 ways to win the millions when you talk about to people, because they just get intimidated and they think, oh, that's all professionals that are playing in the millions, and it's the everyman playing in the Survivor, the housewife and the roofer, and I can compete. I can get lucky.
Sure. I got you.
Yeah.
I just find, I don't know, I love playing against the spread.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's fun. And so that's what attracts me to the million. And we play in 5-0 leagues at home.
Yeah.
We're kind of used to that stuff.
And we know how difficult it is.
It's very difficult. Yes, it's very difficult, but so much fun. And, and I know, this fantasy football kind of changed the game, right, in the NFL.
People, not just the NFL. Most people would rather bet on players than teams now.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me because I would never. We opened in Illinois. There's 10 times amount bet on Connor Bedard shots on goal as there is to who's going to win the Blackhawks.
Wow.
It's just amazing to me. You're betting on player. And NBA, true. Our NBA went way up when we can put 3 players on each side and do points, assists, rebound props. And nobody cares about, the pros do, and the guys that have been betting for years. But the kids and the people that came up on daily fantasy, they're betting players, strikeout props, out props. Will they hit a home run, total bases? That's where it's at.
Mike Palm joining us here on the Blitz. He is the Vice President of Operations here at Circa Las Vegas. You've been here since the idea, right?
So I've been with the company technically since 2006 because I was at Fitzgerald's down the street. That's now the D when Derek bought it. So I'm part of a real estate purchase.
All right. So when you guys were designing this, and there is a point to this, who was the person, and did you have to sign off on things like when you're walking into the restroom, the signage?
So we have a designer, Alice, who's no longer with us, but the lady that worked with her who does all of that kind of stuff. The process of designing the building was like a 3-year process. Steelman was our architect. Every Wednesday, we would meet at their office at 3:30, and it would go from between 9 to midnight every Wednesday for almost 3 years designing the building.
Wow.
It took us 8 months to figure out the porte-cochere. There were 12 different versions of the pool. I mean, and every time you move one thing 1 inch, it affects everything else, right? So, I mean, it's an amazing process.
Anybody ever complained that the sign to the men's room
There's a point to this, Mike.
is a little confusing? It's pretty well marked and obvious, is it not?
We haven't had a lot of issues with it.
No issues.
Not the signs there, but like when you walk in, there's one's supposed to be a lady, right? And the other.
He totally
so I was
did
like,
not see where it said men and women.
Well, there isn't enough separation physically.
Well,
if you're not really focused, it could.
So
most people say, "Why is it like the Taj Mahal in your bed? Did you overbuild the bathrooms a little bit?" I mean, they're very ornate up here, a little too baroque. But
so he's making fun of me because I looked and I came back and I said, "Well,
he was confused."
Which lady? What? Yeah. So
we're not too far.
No complaints, Mike.
We're not too far from the era when there won't even be signs anymore. That's very true.
That is true. Right? You can give him all the business you want because he's obviously not very bright. Was very confused by the signage.
Mike,
I'll give him a pass.
See, I appreciate that.
He's a good guy.
I appreciate that.
Oh, I'm getting hooked.
I see it. Mike,
you got your next
Bruce
meeting.
Boach, he said, let's go.
Thanks for the time.
Yep.
Thank you,
Appreciate
guys.
it, man.
Always
Thank
great
you.
seeing
And the
you.
hospitality.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you
See
very
you
much.
soon.